Date 2, I remember being like a bit shell-shocked and confused because he came and said, I need to drop off a gift for you. I didn't want to meet up with him. I said, okay, let's hang out. And then I flaked per usual. And he said, I just need to drop off a gift. He dropped it off. I didn't let him up to my apartment because it looked too crazy and I was too embarrassed. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just like sit on this random bus stop and just kind of hang out there, which is really rude and weird to do now looking back. It's Sofia Franklyn. You are listening to Sofia with an F, hey, Sloots. And the F is for phenomenal. Welcome to Sofia with an F, party people. I'm your host, Sofia Franklyn. F is for fiancé. I got engaged. It became my entire identity. And it has gotten me a lot of respect and a lot of special treatment. And I plan to ride that wave all the way through my wedding. And then I'm going to have to get pregnant basically immediately after because I don't want to be out of the limelight. And my, talents are just not, those are secondary to being a future bride-to-be. We're going to do a little fun episode and I'm going to answer all of your guys' questions around the engagement. Once again, there's a little feminist part in me that's like, girl, let it go. We get it. You're engaged. But you know what? That's like the old school, outdated version of feminism. I'm allowed to bask in the glory and love all the things. And I'm kind of learning alongside you guys too. I don't love question number 1. An intro. Let me give you guys a quick little intro. My ring is beautiful. There was a teeny tiny crunch sound that happened the other day. And I had been noticing my hair got caught in it like a couple times. I think I was wearing this cashmere. No, it wasn't cashmere, but like a cardigan that got caught in it. And then yesterday I was doing a workout with my trainer and I heard a little crunch and I thought maybe it was all in my head. And then I was sitting on the couch and I was playing with it. And the diamond is in fact a teeny tiny bit loose. Like I can wiggle it side to side. It's still in the prongs, but I don't think the high setting is for me. I think the high setting is definitely for those people who are gentle with their hands and are not, washing dishes. I am a full wannabe pick-me bride. I'm like, and making sandwiches and washing dishes 24/7. I use my hands too much. I'm not the most careful and I'm way too low maintenance. So I'm going to go and not only remove this plastic ugly coil that I've been rocking the ring with, I'm going to go get it resized. My ring size is a 3.25, which is less than 2 to 3% of the population's ring size. I asked ChatGPT and it literally said, you are 1 in a trillion people, less than 2% of the entire population of the world have a ring size finger that big. I want to say my cousin Alex, who you guys know very well, also is like in a similar boat as me. We'll check with her. I want to call her right now and ask her, but we won't. What was I talking about? Oh, I'm going to take my ass up to Midtown. I'm going to get a low setting. I'm going to get the ring resized. And I know there's 78 low settings to choose from. I'm not there yet. I'm still learning. I wanted to keep it in the high setting because I heard that helps with the brilliance and the sparkle. But then after doing a little bit more research, it was like, as long as the diamond is cut in the very, very well and the clarity is there, then the setting doesn't matter all that much when it comes to the sparkle. And so I'm like, if the trade-off is going to mean I don't lose the damn thing, then I think that's a good trade-off. And with that, you guys, let's jump in to some questions you guys wrote in. There's only one episode that received more traction and more attention, and it was the How to Quit Vaping episode, where basically all of your questions were like, please help me. And holy shit, I've been there, and quitting vaping was like it was not easy breezy. This was a close second. You guys want to know what the is up when it comes to my engagement and the proposal. I don't like the first question. And I'm looking at Soph. By the way, you guys, I haven't even read these. Soph just was like, here is a document. Read these off. The first question is, tell us about your man. So we can't lead with questions like these. I told you I'm coming off Adderall. I'm trying to cold turkey it, but I'm getting a little bit tired. I'm also wifey right now, so I shouldn't really be getting off the Adderall, but I should because brides don't take Adderall. They also don't smoke cigarettes. Therefore, I don't do those things. My man is a great man. You're already trying to trip me up. Will I ever reveal him? No. Actually, that's a total lie. I've thought about this. I personally don't feel this overwhelming need to reveal who he is. Again, if this guy was famous, if it was going to like help further my career, then I would feel that need. However, I don't see how releasing first and last name in this situation gets me anywhere. And I mean that in the highest regard and form of compliment there is. Will I ever reveal him? I don't know. I sometimes think, okay, well, if I do move to Europe and if I'm in the apartment day in and day out and, you know, he's there too, I'm not going to be making a TikTok and be like, babe, you were walking in the background. Let me redo this 20-minute, video that I filmed. And you know what? Maybe I'll want to include him. Like maybe it'll be fun making content with him. I am laughing right now because I don't see that being that fun, just considering both our personality types. He's not one to want to really command a camera and like be a presence on camera. Maybe he is. Maybe he has like this secret talent for it, but it's just not really him. But I can give you guys like a little tiny inside scoop into my man. He is not in the limelight. He is not in pop culture whatsoever. I asked him the other day if he knew who the Kardashians were. He does know who they are. And then I had to break down the whole family tree. And I was like, okay, but Kendall and Kylie Jenner, different dads, same mom, but they're kind of just, and he got it. He understood it. But, I wanted to tell you guys a little fun thing, but I'm not going to. I have square nails right now, which is unlike me. And it was actually for a photo shoot that I will reveal when I can, but I actually like it. It looks very glam. He is incredibly ambitious and he works a lot, but his drive matches mine. And I really, really like that. I think if there's a major mismatch, sometimes it doesn't feel that great or it doesn't work as well in the dynamic. In my humble opinion, he's also very, I don't know if I would say he's type A or not. I am the opposite of type A. I am like, roll out of bed, go with the flow, and just like, someone could be like, okay, we're, doing a hike and then going to dinner and then going to SeaWorld. And I would maybe be like, that's a lot of activity for a girl like me. But I would just be like, I would roll with the punches. I don't really care. He's kind. He's a good person. And he's not trying to prove a point or trying to be anyone he's not. And he's patient. He is patient as I tried to push him away and like call the whole thing off pre-engagement so many times just because of my own and he just stuck through it and was like, this girl has some trauma and I'm gonna just keep reassuring her and doing all the things. And then when he let me know I couldn't really act like that anymore, then I really got my together. So maybe I'll reveal him down the road, but not right now. Maybe I'll reveal him at the wedding because I'm like, I thought about this. Do I people check their phones at the door? I'm not going to tell my aunt who's going to accidentally go Facebook Live that like she can't post any pictures. Like there will be a photograph taken that gets leaked. So I don't know. It's a whole thing. I don't really know how it works, but I'm going to figure it out. Did you have a mutual engagement timeline? We did. I don't remember who brought it up first, but date 2, I remember being like a bit shell-shocked and confused because he came and said, I need to drop off a gift for you. And I was up here. I had just moved into this apartment. I was with Soph. We were working and couldn't see each other because there were stacks of boxes that were almost as high as my 13-foot ceilings. That is not 11 foot. That is 13-foot ceilings. That some just fell down and almost cracked my head open the other day, which I will talk about. Yeah, I didn't want to meet up with him. I said, okay, let's hang out. And then I flaked per usual. And he said, I just need to drop off a gift. He dropped it off. I didn't let him up to my apartment because it looked too crazy and I was too embarrassed. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just like sit on this random bus stop and just kind of hang out there, which is really rude and weird to do now looking back. Who the is like, he's like, okay, so you have 12 roommates and you have like a bunk bed in a room and like that's why you don't want me to go up. Date 2 wasn't even really a date because it was on the bus stop, but he was very clear with me and he just said, I know this is a bit early, but I haven't felt this way about a girl in a long time. And you kind of threw me for a loop. I'm going to be honest. I'm going back to Europe tomorrow, but I wanted to say this in person. I want to know what your intentions are because my intentions, if this ends up being anything, are to get married and to have a family eventually down the line. Is that crazy to say on a second date? Yes, but I also think once you are past the age of 30, you kind of end up having those conversations earlier than you would think. Like in my 20s, it was all about deflect and don't have that conversation and just focus on like having fun, at least for me. And then once I decided to start dating this time, I was like, no, I actually do want to have those conversations pretty early on because I don't want to waste time and it is what I want and it's something I want sooner rather than later. So did we have a mutual engagement timeline? We did. I don't know when we started talking about specifics. All I know is I can't remember what trip it was, but like we were on the phone, and I remember being a little bit taken aback because he was like, I see you moving here around this time, and I see an engagement happening around this time. And I remember being like a little bit like, whoa, that's a bit early. But I guess it's kind of what I wanted to. We did. Yes. Did your fiance know what kind of ring you wanted? I have been waiting to answer this question because it makes me super, super happy, and I can't answer it until I go and get something. Y'all know I run a tight ship when it comes to my nicotine routine, and that is why I am beyond obsessed with Lucy Breakers, because these pouches are 100% pure nicotine, totally tobacco-free, and they come with a cool twist. There is a tiny capsule inside each one that you can break open for an extra hit of flavor and hydration. I personally always reach for an 8 milli apple ice, and it is so, so good and refreshing. It is my go-to when I need a little extra focus boost without taking a break from whatever I'm doing and getting completely sidetracked and wasting 5 hours. Plus, with a Lucy subscription, they just show up at my door. No effort required. Let's level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. Go to lucy.co/Sofia and use promo code Sofia to get 20% off your first order. Lucy has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. Again, that's lucy.co and use code Sofia to get 20% off. And here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Fall is in the air, and with Pura, you can bring it into every room. From pumpkin spice to warm vanilla and apple cider, Pura partners with the brands you love to deliver premium fragrance in a smart diffuser you control from your phone. It's the perfect way to make your home and car cozy and inviting this season. Don't wait. Discover smarter scenting today at pura.com. This is the reason, partly, that he got me a round ring. Date 1, we ended up hanging out for 5 hours straight. And I started talking about my childhood, which, I mean, just the fun shit, which is this book that my mom raised me on, which is The Missing Piece Meets the Big O by Shel Silverstein. If you don't know who Shel Silverstein is, he wrote The Giving Tree. I think that is the book that he's really, really famous for. Or the poem Cynthia Stout Would Not Take the Garbage Out, which is a really fucking good one. But this book, you guys, a little bit like independence propaganda for women, to the point where it's almost like, should I be this independent? It's kind of giving, don't really ever need anybody. But at the end, it has a good message. Basically, this little triangle tries to fit into all of these round shapes that are missing a piece, like a puzzle piece. It tries to fit in like a puzzle piece, and either the puzzle or the piece end up outgrowing each other, and then he ends up turning himself into a circle so he can just roll alongside another circle, and it's not like, one person trying to complete the other one. Long story short, because I know you guys did not sign up for story time, is I told him about this book on our first date, and he actually came and dropped it off for me date 2, that was the gift that he wanted to give me, and he handed it to me on the bus stop. And this is honestly like a big reason why I was like, this guy listens to me and is so sweet and cute and is also not playing games and didn't give a shit if I would have been like, that's fucking weird, you giving me my childhood book. And that was hot, but it also was, it gave insight and it gave me a look into who he is as a person. But the missing piece meets the big O. I'm sure you guys, it's pretty obvious. It's like the round ring and the O are symbolic of one another. And that's why he got the round diamond. And I just think that that is so freaking cute, because this really did shape the way I thought about relationships. So I don't know what books y'all were reading when you were little, but you might want to look into it because it might give you a little intel into your own psyche. All right. Next question. How are you and Mans splitting wedding planning responsibilities? I am taking charge, and it's because I want to, and it's because in the past, when there have been like big decisions, I've kind of let him take the charge and him take the lead. And he is very much, if he thinks of something, he's going to literally get after it and get it done the next day. I like to drag my feet a little bit, which I don't think is a bad thing. I like to really take my time with things and make sure that when something does happen or a decision is made, I weighed out all the pros and cons. And I think that's like a really positive thing if you keep that checks and balances system in check. So I'm taking the lead, but he's very much involved and he wants to be involved. And so I'm not quite there yet. I'm just now setting up appointments to meet with wedding planners, but we're probably going to be handling it mostly 50-50. How long have you been officially dating Mr. Fiancé? A year as of 3 days ago. We've been officially dating, if we're counting it from our first date, which we do. Did I feel like I was dating him after the first date? No. Did I kind of feel like something was a little bit different about this guy after date 2? Yes. Will you move in together before the wedding? I have no clue. Like, I just found out that my court order to amend my birth certificate actually won't hold up in a court of law. So I really don't know. But I guess this is a little bit telling of the next question, which is, do you actually want to live in the EU? ? Or split time with NYC ? This isn't a loaded question, but I'm going to answer it bluntly because I feel like it and because I'm that fiancé type of bitch. If it wasn't for him, I would not want to live in Europe. Like, that's just a fact, point blank. I was not going to wake up one day and be like, you know what? I'm kind of over this whole New York thing. I want to live in London. That wasn't in the stars or on the path that I was taking. Now that I've met the love of my life, I want to live there because I want to live a life with him. Would I want to live there knowing I wasn't keeping my apartment in New York and I wasn't going to be able to travel back and forth as freely as I want in business class and probably do it on a monthly basis, if not close to, I think I would feel a whole lot more scared to move. I've been watching 90 Day Fiancé with my mom. Best show on television. It is so fucking good. Jasmine and Gino, I think I mentioned this before. Jasmine, I need to have her on the podcast. Like, she needs her own television show, and she is maybe only in competition with the cast of OG Roni. Like, she is just that fucking good. But I've been watching 90 Day Fiancé, and it's normally people who don't have the financials or the ability to just be traveling back and forth from their home country to the new country they're trying to make work. And shit is fucking hard. And also, you know, there's a girl who lives in Los Angeles and is American trying to make it work with a guy who is from and lives in Egypt. She is not religious. He is Muslim. Okay. And they're trying to make it work. And he is not really enjoying the fact that she wants to wear a tank top and jean shorts. And I'm kind of like, what the fuck were you guys thinking? Like, were you guys thinking, oh my God, his 31 years on this planet of growing up in the Islamic faith was just gonna, you know what? Actually, I don't care about the hijab. I don't care about a woman covering up. I'm fine with my wife wearing a tank top. No, I don't think that that is a shift that happens overnight. And I'm also like, girly pop, she moved to Egypt to be with this guy. It didn't work out. Why? She's wearing leggings and a long sleeve with a hood and flippers to go swimming in an indoor pool. Okay? Like, it is way too different of a culture and a religion to think that you guys were just gonna like bridge that gap. Now the guy from Egypt is in Los Angeles trying to make it work, and he's been there 2 days, and all hell has broken loose, okay? He was walking on the boardwalk in Santa Monica with her. He saw this woman wearing this really modern, cool take on a modern hijab. He looked at her. He stared at her for just a quick moment. His wife freaked the fuck out and was like, why were you checking her out? He wasn't checking her out. He is like missing home. He's trying to see how to make his Islamic faith work in the new world, which is America, Los Angeles. And he was looking at this girl for a little bit longer than a millisecond because he's seeing, okay, this is home and this is also this modern twist, and maybe this is how I could make it work here. Meanwhile, his wife, who looks like Daphne from Scooby-Doo and has a bright red, Wendy's bright red bob and eyes this big, and is actually really, really pretty. And I kind of see myself in her, not in how she looks, but in how she acts, which is, I don't like to say that, but it's true. She's telling him to fucking go back to Egypt if he's just gonna come and be checking out girls who can be the type of Muslim woman that she can't be. And it's like, why did you guys think that this was ever gonna work? Why did I just go off on that tangent? Because I think me going from New York to Italy or France, like me going to Paris or the Netherlands, Amsterdam, or Milan, I think that those things are like doable. Like, the culture shock is not that crazy. I don't have to dress that differently. I don't have to behave that differently. I don't have to think that differently. Are there things that are annoying as shit, like the bureaucracy and, having to go to 7 ATMs until you find one that actually works? Sure. But it's like, it's doable, especially because I'm not this totally American girl. My family is not from here, and I've been around the block. So let me just circle back to the question at hand. Do I actually want to live in Europe? I do. Do I want to split time with New York? I do. Both of those things can be true, and I am going to make it work. And I think I find a lot of comfort in knowing that I can hop, skip, and a jump away, get back to New York and be at home base and recalibrate when I need to. Still, it's a 8-ish hour flight, so it's not that simple. But I mean, going home to Salt Lake City, Utah is a 6-hour flight. It's like, whatever. Not ideal, but not a deal breaker. Will you change your name? No. Why would I do that? I'm a household name. What? Just cancel these years that I've spent branding myself. And my podcast is called Sofia with an F, which does really just apply to my first name, but it's like the last name starts with an F, and it's special, and I might change it on legal documents because Lord knows I am very well versed in that arena, and I feel like my attorney would love nothing more than me giving him a ring-a-ding-ding once we get Franklyn finalized and put on the birth certificate. I don't think he would want anything less than me calling him and saying, JK, my last name is actually this because I just got married. I think he will blow his brains out. I think he will actually block my number, and I think that he will be like, you are fraudulent, and I no longer want to be part of this court case, and there's something up, and I don't believe you're even engaged. Because how could it be that within 3 months of finally amending the birth certificate and changing the name, you want to fucking change the name? You crazy bitch. I think he would actually flag it, and I don't think the state of Utah would let me change it. You can't be changing your last name twice in 1 year. You just can't do it. And apparently I've only been Sofia Franco, and I haven't even been Sofia Franklyn. So I'm not about to become Sofia Franklyn and then be like, oh, just kidding. Oh, JK, this is my last name. That whole thing was just a joke. When I need clothes, I shop on Revolve. It's that simple. If I'm looking for a mid-rise dark denim jean, I go to Revolve. And now that I've entered my bridal era, I'm going to be dressing the part too. I got this super cute romantic midi dress from Madrell the other day. It has this lace trim and elegant neck sash, and I cannot wait to wear it. Revolve has the latest, most sought-after trends from top brands like Helsa, Lovers and Friends, Amanda Up Richard, Norma Kamali, Goldie, Super Down, More to Come, and Free People. And that's just some of them. Plus, their customer service is amazing. Free and fast shipping as well, and returns. And they have all of the sizing and curated edits so you can shop styles that fit your vibe without endlessly scrolling. It is, for real, a one-stop shop. Whether it's a weekend getaway, a big night out, or just a little style refresh, your dream wardrobe is just one click away. Head to revolve.com/Sofia, shop my edit, and take 15% off your first order with code Sofia. fast 2-day shipping, easy returns. It's literally the only place you need to shop from. That's revolve.com/Sofia to shop my favorites and get 15% off your first order with code Sofia. Offer ends October 30th, so happy shopping. I just needed to do a quick lip gloss application as well as chat with Soph about 90 Day Fiancé. I thought I was done talking about it. I guess I'm not. I'm actually watching 90 Day the other way. So it's like the one person went and tried it out in host country and it didn't work. And so now they're doing it the other way. You could not be more real. And that network specifically, they know how to pick their people. They find just the best, most interesting characters. And I don't really know how they do it, but it's such a good show. And then Married at First Sight. I can't. Jenny and Samit, so fucking, I'm sorry, his mom just going through all of her shit. Like, they literally move in with his mom and she just starts going through all of Jenny's shit and then finds a bottle of alcohol and is like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, they give me hope. They really give me hope that, living an 8-hour flight away and having full access to whatever I want and being able to dress exactly the same way I do now, maybe just with a little bit more basics and a little bit more muted colors, I think I can do it. Also, I'm in my bridal era and I can only wear muted colors anyways, hence my white jeans, my white tank, and my cream cardigan that I did make my mom leave that has pearls for buttons, and it's really, really cute. And if you want to see this cardigan, then you should definitely go to the YouTube, Sofia Franklyn. So I don't think I'm going to change my name on socials. I don't have a problem doing it though in legal documentation if it means it will save me or my children a headache down the road. Because as a child of name abuse, okay, I can say I'm a victim of that. And I grew up and somewhere along the way, my fucking stepdad was added as my biological paternal father. And my last name was never changed. It's kind of annoying as shit to fix that. And not only is it annoying if you don't really have your biological father in your life and then have to reach out and kind of just like start this like chummy relationship with him after 33 years on the planet. It's not that fun. Like, I don't really want to do it in my pastime. And I really don't want to do it on behalf of my kids. For real, don't. So I am down to clown and change the name on any legal documentation if it means saving me a headache down the road. I've talked with him about what we would want to do. He's like very chill. He does not feel super strongly about any of these things. It's very much a meeting of the minds and it's like a collaboration. And I honestly feel the same way. I don't have very, very strong feelings around that unless it comes to my work, but work is separate. And I think he feels the same way. Did he ask your mom permission for your hand in marriage? He did. He wanted to do it in person, but our trip got too crazy and our time was cut a little bit short once my mom and my brother got there. But I think he called her the morning of or the night before. And that's when he also asked kind of what proposal I would want. And she was like, Sophia's super low key. She doesn't really care about makeup and all that jazz. I do care about it. He did ask her. And it was really cute because he also asked Lucas, my brother, too. Okay. This is a great question. How do you bring up that you want to get engaged soon? This is from a Sloot. How do you bring up that you want to get engaged soon? Dating a year and a half already. I suck at deep convos. Congrats, Sloot. Your ring is perfection. How do you bring up to the guy you're dating, and you've been dating him a year and a half, that you want to get engaged soon? I don't like the whole soon here. Because how the fuck have you guys been dating a year and a half and you want to get engaged soon and you guys have never had a conversation about it? I'm not saying there's no chance that it's not sitting that well with me, but let me tell you this. Y'all are in no state to get married if you don't even feel comfortable bringing up engagement and engagement timeline. That is a conversation that should have just flowed naturally by this point, or shouldn't feel that daunting for you to bring up. I want to remove myself from the situation because I have friends that are like, I didn't want to bring it up. I wanted it to not feel like an ultimatum. I wanted him to be the one that brought up the engagement convo, but when it didn't happen, I just had to rip the Band-Aid off and do it. So I'm not going to say it's totally fucked. Like, the relationship could be fine, but how to bring it up? If you don't bring it up, then what's going to happen is you're going to start feeling resentful of him, and that's not a good place to be. And that ends up playing out in you start a big blowout fight and give him an ultimatum. So you're going to end up bringing it up one way or the other. And I think it's way better for you to bring it up calm, cool, and collected. And you don't even have to bring it up like, hi. You can bring it up super relaxed. You don't need to come off like this marriage crazed, I want to get a ring put on it yesterday. You can still bring it up very calm, cool, and collected. And you don't even have to fully let him know where your head's at until you ask him where his head is at. Just say, is marriage something that you want to do? If so, do you see it happening with me? And when do you see it happening? You have been dating this guy for a year and a half. It is very much allowed to ask that question. Very much in your rights as his girlfriend. And you know what? Let's say he doesn't want to get married. He doesn't see it happening soon. He's not with you on that timeline vibe. Then all the more reason to know now. All the more reason. And who knows, he might surprise you and he might be like, I'm so glad you brought it up. I was feeling like a weirdo and didn't want to pressure you or make you feel pressured into saying that you did want to get engaged, and I want to do the same thing too. And I want to do it soon. Who knows? You won't know unless you ask. And you're just going to it's going to start eating at you, and you're going to start getting pissed if you don't. Okay, another question. How did you work through not pushing him away? I have a good one, but I have issues. Whoo, this is like my tagline. I have a good one, but I have issues. I worked through it by staying committed to self-actualization and self-healing. That's how it happened. Years of therapy, I was like, I'm going to stay in this. And now it's actually even more important to me because there are real things at stake. Not that my mental health isn't a real thing at stake. I mean, it is, but that's, on the list, that's like number 8 of things that are important. Kidding. I joke, I kid, but I just stayed in there and I stayed committed to being aware of my bad habits and things that I tend to do in relationships. And I just time commitment to, getting to the root cause is a big one. Because it's like you can be aware of your habits and you can be aware of what pokes you and gives you insecurity flare-ups. But until you sit and deal with the root cause, which the root cause and the childhood trauma shit is actually the reason for 90% of your issues. In relationships, not in relationships, in the relationship with yourself. And that's a fact. It is like there are 2 or 3, maybe there's 70 core issues from childhood. But once you get in the weeds and start taking off that layer and dealing with that shit, which is incredibly hard to do, it kind of takes care of a lot of the issues, or at least makes you even that more aware of them. So that's what I did. And I communicated pretty early on that there were these kinds of issues and that I'm working on them, but I want to just say them out loud and I want to flag them for you so we can just have this totally open, safe dialogue. And in a fucked up way, that was also a little kind of poke to see if I could say that out loud and see if this guy was like, I'm going to hear this girl and I'm going to see her for what she is and see her with the baggage and I'm going to stay. And he stayed. And that was like another one of those, he showed me that he's in this for the long haul, baggage and all. And Sloots, there's all of these questions about the wedding dress, the bridesmaids, the bachelorette party. And I'm like, I'm going to have to do a part 2. So I think I answered quite a bit of questions, but not all of them. So tune in next week because I'm going to give you a part 2. I'm going to give you my fiance's first and last name. Just kidding. I just want to clip that. And Sloots, I love you guys so much. And I will talk to you next week. Bye.